Good afternoon and good evening, depending on where you are watching this live. And good day, everybody. Hope everyone is having a great morning and afternoon and evening, depending on where you are at. Again, we got a lot to get into today. We got a lot to talk about. And yes, we have March Madness, and it's just getting started tonight. That's right. We got games tonight for the March Madness. And if you don't have your bracket set up, this is time to do it. Get those brackets filled out, send them in, and hey, if you're using those ESPN bets for your brackets, make sure you get those submitted soon because we got two games tonight. That's right, we got two games tonight. They're both on True TV. The first game is at 8. Is at 5 p. At 5:40 this evening. It is Howard versus UMBC. And the other is North Carolina State versus the Texas other Longhorns. And that was on True TV, and that was at 8:15 in the evening. That's right. And yes, I am selling on the Pat McAfee Show. And of course, I am Darren with Sports. That's right. This is Darren with Sports with ESPN. Yes, I am. Yeah, this is Darren with Sports with ESPN. So good day, everyone. Let's get this, keep on going. We got the NCAA going on. We're gonna breathe that down a little more in a little bit. We do have some baseball going on. We got the Baseball World Classic going on. We also have the football picking up a little bit. We just had the tampering period for the. We had the combine and the tampering period of the NFL. So that means we're just moments away, weeks away from the NFL draft live at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I will be doing my show live. I might not be in Pittsburgh, but I will do it live with me and a bunch of guests that are going to be working on getting to join me on my Daily Sports Draft Special. And in the World Classic game, for the title game, that is tonight, actually, at 7 o'clock on Fox, is Venezuela versus the United States of America for the World Classic Championship game of 2026. And I know those of you who watched the last game of Team USA, and you thought that last pitch was a ball indoor strike, even though I didn't watch, it depends on where the ball is within the strike zone. If it's low and it's close to the corner, it can be a strike depending on how high or how low it is. Because the strike zone is the little box, the makeshift box within the battle. No matter if they're by right or left. And even though I didn't watch it, I did get some good tidbits and stuff from people, my sources. And of course, one of those sources is on Sportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Michelle Smallman, and Chris Canty. And of course, ESPN Radio as well. And ESPN Radio Madison, Milwaukee, and Beaver Dam. And yes, I am going to have some more guests coming on here. I'm going to try to get Evan Cohen back on here. I'll see if I can get Rich Eisen. I was on it briefly, but for a little while, calling in. I'm going to try to call in again with a different set of headphones so you can hear me a lot better than the last time. And let's see who if I can get Pat McAfee, because I have her on there. But who knows? We'll find out who I can get on my show, on the Gentleman Sports Show. But until then, let's talk about that NCAA bracket for the ladies. Because, yes, the ladies are playing as well. They got games tomorrow night for the first four. That's Richmond versus Nebraska on tomorrow night at 6 o'clock in the evening on ESPN2. And it got SF Austin taking on Missouri State, also on ESPN2, but at 8 o'clock. as well. We'll move on to the next round of move on, and we'll find out who they're gonna play in the brackets. For the ladies, they got two games on Thursday. We have Virginia taking on Arizona State at 6 on ESPN, at 8 on ESPN Plus, on ESPN2. Also, we got Stanford taking on Southern, also on ESPN2, but that was at 6 o'clock as well. And then we get into the thick of it. Now we'll do that on another episode coming up, and some shorts that will come out soon as well. For that. Now for the men's. I already mentioned the men, Texas, North Carolina State, ASM, NUM, BC, and Howard on True TV. We do have two games for tomorrow for them as well. We got Preview taking on Cleveland on True TV at 5:40 in the evening. We got Miami of Ohio taking on SMU on True TV as well. And that game is at 8:15. And then we're going to the thick of it on Thursday. And I will give you, I'll give you a few of those. We got Wisconsin taking on the High Point on TBS at 12:50 in the afternoon. We also got at 11:50 in the afternoon in the morning. So make sure you have your coffee, your donut, or whatever you want to eat for breakfast, and your ice cold Coors Light. On the other hand, while Ohio State takes on TCU in the East region first round, Wisconsin for the West round. That game is 11:15 on CBS. So you may be at work, even if you are working, pretend you are working, and make sure you have those games on your laptop or your computer or your mobile devices for those games. We got Troy taking on Nebraska tomorrow afternoon at 11:40 in the morning on True TV as well. And yes, a lot of these channels and networks will be taking their normal programming off for the next several weeks for March Madness. So we want to thank all those guys, all these channels that are taking out their web programming off to televise all the games. Again, and then we got Louisville taking on South Florida on TNT at 12:30 as well. And then we got Duke taking Sion, SIENA, CBS at 10 till 2, 1:50 in the afternoon on CBS. On True TV, got McKinney taking on Vanderbilt 2:15 on True TV. We got North Dakota State taking on Michigan State at 3:05 on TNT. Hawaii, that's right. Hawaii actually is in this time, and it's been a while since they have been in one. I'm sure that I can check that out and see if they have been in one or when the last time they were in one. Anyway, they are taking Arizona at 3:05 on TBS. We got VCU and North Carolina Tar Heels. And yes, I actually met a nice guy that works for them. But anyway, that game is at 5:30 Thursday night on TNT. Okay, we have Michigan played at 6:10 on CBS on Thursday, but their opponent has yet to be determined. I believe that's going to be the winner of the Texas game or the game on tonight's game with Texas, North Carolina State, and Howard and UMBC. With that game, be one of those four teams that will take on Michigan on CBS at 6:10 on Thursday. Same thing with BYU at 6:05 on TBS. Texas A&M, that's right. You got the A&M in. You got Texas of A&M. A&M. Taking on St. Mary's at 6:30 on True TV. We got Penn State. Actually, not Penn State, Penn. University of Penn. Taking up the Illinois Fighting Illini at 8:25 on TNT. And yes, there'll be a lot of games. There'll be early morning, afternoon, and of course, evening and late evening games as well. Because a lot of these games are not just being played on the East Coast, but also on the West Coast as well. You guys think Blue West taking on the Dogs of Georgia at 8:45 in the evening on CBS. And of course, you got one of the greatest teams of the March Madness history, Gonzaga, taking on King Charles State at 9:00 p.m. on TBS. And to round it up, to win that off for Thursday night, just for Thursday night, Idaho would take on the the Potatoes or the Spuds. We'll take on Houston at 9:10 on True TV. And yes, we got a lot of that going on. We got baseball picking up. We're getting closer to the beginning of baseball season. Yes, I know Wisconsin and a lot of areas got a lot of snow in the last several days. Hey, we're going to be running off soon, and we're going to be hitting the ballparks, going to the baseball games. Everybody out, on the links and start hitting golf balls, getting ready for the golf season. I know I will. I'll be doing that with my friends with ESPN Radio Madison. And, of course, Vibes Golf Club. Vibes. Make sure you get Vibes. My boy, Melvin Gordon. I will give you links. I'll get a link from my friend, from Melvin Gordon, and I will give you that in the comment. I'll give you the link on the replay for Vibes Golf, for Vibes, as well as I will give you the link to check out Vibes. Because Vibes is one of the coolest golf things we have going on. And the best thing about it is it's run by former Wisconsin Badger football players. To name one is my boy Melvin Gordon, one of my best friends. And yes, we do have NASCAR going on. This past weekend, we had the Las Vegas Motor Speedway race for the Cup Series, and Danny Hamlin took the win, and he got 70 points with 134 laps led. That is good. Let's see when the next one. I know there's another one coming up. Let's see here. We got. Yeah, Denny Hamlin won this past weekend, and just a second. That we got a race on the 22nd, this Saturday. This coming Sunday. This coming Saturday. Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, we got a race on the 22nd. We do have the race, the Darlington Raceway. That's at 2:00 on Sunday afternoon at 2:00 on FS1. And yes, Hamlin, can Hamlin get another win? Could he get a second win back to back? Could he maybe get three, just like Tyler Reddick did, Michael Jordan, and do the famous three? We gotta find out. Go wait till Sunday for that one. And yes, Tyler Reddick is on the top. Is the top driver with 255 points, and Bubba Wallace follows that. And then Blanket, and then Hamlin, Elliott, and Bell. Gibbs is at 10th. We got, if you want to check that out, make sure you do download the ESPN app. And hey, if you also want to follow me and Daily Sports, make sure you always click the Linktree app, go to the Linktree, and tap that. You can get all my socials: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And yes, I'm going to talk about a little bit about Downs coming in a little bit. So before that, we've got college, we've got IndyCar going on. That's right. One of the best thing for me is I tell NASCAR is IndyCar and truck. After that, it was like Americans Ken Cookwood had won the last race in Arlington, Texas with 53 points and led 16 laps. Okay, looks like the next one's not until the 29th. The Grand Prix of Alabama. And of course, that's my area, being in Alabama, being from Birmingham, Alabama myself. That race will be a noon race on Fox. That's right, the Grand Prix of Alabama will be on Fox at noon. We do have some TGL action going on tonight. We got the Atlanta taking on Los Angeles tonight at 5:30 on ESPN, and we got Jupiter taking on Boston on 8 o'clock also on ESPN as well. And that's right, the UFL is back, everybody. UFL is back and it's starting up now. We're just getting underway. First week is here, week 1. We got the Birmingham Stallions and the new head coach. You know him as an former Alabama quarterback, A.J. McCarron. You got the Kings and the Stallions with the Kings taking on this Friday night. I'm definitely going to check that out. That sounds like on Fox. We got the Defenders taking on the Battlehawks on Saturday at 11 a.m. on ESPN. And it should be on ESPN app as well. Got the Gamblers taking on the Renegades at noon on Fox at 3 o'clock on Saturday. And then Sunday to wrap the week 1, we got the Storm taking on the Avengers. I believe that is. And that game is at 7 p.m. on ESPN as well. So, yes. And of course, do not forget, we do have. Well, let me double check this one out. I don't see it on here on the ESPN app, but they should add that in on the ESPN app. And that is Banana Ball. They should add the Banana Ball to the ESPN app so you can keep track of your Banana Ball teams. Right now, I don't see Banana Ball. I see everything but Banana Ball. So, everybody at ESPN, this is all the work for the app. We gotta have Banana Ball to this, so everybody can watch the Banana Ball, of course, on ESPN, which is already a part of ESPN and Disney and ABC. And yes, this year's Super Bowl will be on ABC, and yes, it is on Valentine's Day next year, my birthday, of course, and I will be there for sure this time around. I will be there with General Sports, along with on Radio Row, along with Sportsmanlike, Evan Cole, Michelle Small, and Chris Kennedy on Sportsmanlike as well out in Vegas area. So yes, make sure you check out our Sportsmanlike. Make sure you check Booth. Make sure you check mine Booth out as well as my booth, sports booth as well. In the midst of I got ways to go, but I will get there. I promise you, I will. Yes, I'm making a move. My girl and I'm making a move to a place of our own, which I'll be doing more on my show, and I'll be doing it more often. Right now, it's a weekly show, and I am turning it into a daily show. So that's right. General Sports will be starting up soon this summer. Will be General Sports on a daily show. That's right, Monday through Friday, y'all. And I just might even do a weekend show, depending on what's going on in sports. But hey, Make sure I have all my people that work with me cover all those games as well. And yes, I will have panels and all sorts of fun stuff on Daily Sports Daily Show. Okay. And if you want to do fantasy baseball, it's time to sign up now. You want to do that as well as the pick'ems. Make sure you do that. Fantasy hockey, you got to do that if you want to get ready for the Stanley Cup, the rest of the playoffs and the Stanley Cup Finals, and of course the same thing for NBA. Speaking of the NBA, we got to jump right into the NBA action. I know we got action tonight, and we got on the early games we have at 6:00 tonight. We got the Heat taking on the Hornets. With a 3.5-point favor, according to ESPN Bet. Thunder and the Magic will be going out in Orlando at 6:00 as well. Also at 6, we got the Wizards hosting the Pistons. We got the Knicks and the Pacers. Ooh, this is going to be pretty good. It should be pretty good, despite the Pacers having one of the worst records this season. The worst record they haven't had in a long time. And of course, we all know one of many reasons banged up players. And of course, Tyrese Halliburton dealing with his getting over his Achilles injury from last year's Game 7 of the finals. And of course, we got the Cavaliers and the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks are hosting the Cavaliers tonight at 7:00. And yes, that game is on NBC and Peacock. And you all know what that means. That's right. Rainbow Rock will be rocking tonight. We got the Suns taking on the Timberwolves at 7 as well. And we got the Spurs taking on the Kings at 9:00 tonight. And yes, the Kings is one of the other teams that are not going to be. They're not having a good season either, actually. And of course, that's the other team that's not going to be going anywhere near the playing games to get into the playoffs, let alone a playoff game at all. And then finally, last but not least, we got the Denver Nuggets hosting the 76ers of Philadelphia at 9:30, at 9 o'clock, also on the NBC and the Peacock. So make sure you check those two games out tonight. I will check those out myself for sure. And I'll give you the final scores and analysis and all that on my next episode. I'll give you a rundown for tomorrow's games. We got the Rockets taking on the Lakers at 8:30. Celtics will take on the Warriors tomorrow night at 6 on ESPN. 6:30, the Nets will take on the Thunder. We got the Pacers taking on Timberwolves at 6:30. These are all games for tomorrow. Bulls will take on the Raptors at 7, as well as the Timberwolves taking on the Jazz. Pelicans taking on the Clippers same time. At 7:30, we got the last two games, and that's the Hawks taking on the Mavericks and the Nuggets are Denver taking on the Grizzlies. And that is the game that was being made up from the January 25th game that was postponed and canceled. That was the game that was postponed on January 25th of this past year. That's just a big up game. And yes, like I said, the NFL draft is just not far away now. And there's buzz going on. A lot of news going through. Who would get, we all know Francisco Mendoza is going at 1 in the draft over to the Raiders. And yes, there have been trades that have been made lately and deals being done as well. In fact, let me go in. Let me check out my insiders. I got a lot of great insiders that help me out here on my sources. Excuse me about that. I'm having a little freeze up here. Here we go. That should do it. There we go. First, I'll start with my NBA man, Shams Shalomina. And yes, within the last day, the NBA will hold a vote at the Board of Governors meetings in March of the 24th to the 25th to explore adding expansion teams, which has to do with Los Angeles and Seattle, with the two franchises being targeted for the 2028-2029 season, which sources tells ESPN and Dell Sports. And there is a motion, a mayhem over the stockholders to approve the surveying and what the industry basically would look like. Of course, the bids, there'll be bids in the $7 to the $10 million range as well for each team. Of course, that's usually the lowest, at least the lowest dollar amount for the bids to begin. We also have in the last day or two that the Kings assigned guard Cameron Hayes to a 2-year contract deal, according to his agent, and Lift Sports Management tells ESPN and Daily Sports as well, for a 7th round pick in a 7th pick played in 10 games for the Kings over a 10-day contract. The Celtics are signing two-way player Max Scherzer to a standard 2-year contract, which is pretty much a standard contract. And that goes to the sources to tell ESPN and Daily Sports as well. And with that, the Ukraine guard went to Boston with the 57th pick overall in the last year's draft in the NBA, after a season with the G League. Okay, I don't have anything else right now from Shams. Thank you, Shams. My senior college football insider, Heather Lynch. See, we have, oh my gosh, breaking news that just came through. Da-da-da. For Michigan defense, John Henry Daly is out this spring as he recovers from a ruptured Achilles tendon, but he is working towards a full return on the 1st of June. The coach Kyle told her that if anyone goes as planned, we're hoping that it will be June 1st, that he can come join the team in every activity that they have. Of course, I move on from that. There's not much lately in college football. This some though. We got Texas Tech running back Quinton Jonah, who missed all the entire season of last year with a knee injury, but he will be expected to be fully cleared to return this June. That's according to the coach Joe McIntyre that he told ESPN and of course Daily Sports as well. And of course, he said that he's running, cutting, cut. But let's see here. That's all I got for right now from her. I know there'll be some more coming up, picking up within the weeks to come. Hopefully, with when our spring practice starts and spring games begin for college football. But now let's go into my NHL Emily something for the NHL. The cap. This is a good one. That is right. This is the main thing I got. I received from Emily. The Capitals have signed the top defense prospect Cole Hudson to a 3-year deal for a $997 million $935,000 contract. AAV AAV. He's expected to finish the season with the Capitals. So don't worry about that. He is staying for the rest of the season. That's all I have within the last couple of days with that one. Let me see what I got for my next. All right. This is the one I know is hot. And I got this from Jeff Jet Patterson. And that's right. Lieutenant Jesse Jose Lotus and the Philadelphia Phillies have an agreement to a 5-year contract extension, according to ESPN and Daily Sports. The 28-year-old was said to become he was scheduled to be a free agent, basically, out of this season. But the new deal will begin not this year, but next year, and that locks him up basically with that Okay, this is within the last 2 weeks. I mentioned this. The Atlanta Braves disengaged hitter. What? Actually, I'll scratch that. Sorry about that. All right, let's give my boy Shefty. I do that. Just let me, before I do that, let me do peak demo. Okay, again, hold on, but I gotta give it Alabama's 80 Holloway has been removed from campus in the wake of his arrest. So it looks like another friend that was arrested and removed from the university for now. It was he had to do with student conduct basically. But let me here here you go. Long-time college baseball. This is a coach. Thad Matia is retiring as the coach at Butler. So it looks like Butler is going to have a coaching vacancy coming up. And yes, but he will remain with Butler as a special assistant and the president and the athletic director. I like this. I like how they do this nowadays because they do this in baseball. They do that. They have been doing that with football now. They've been doing that for quite a while. Hiring like a president. Like what's the president of relation of the sport as well. Okay. Okay. All right, I'll do some more digging. I'll repeat. I'll give you some more of that. Now let's do the Shucky. I do have news. Actually, I do have good amount of news coming out of Schefter this morning. Starting with the Broncos making a trade to Miami with Jalen Waddle. The Broncos are trading Miami's wide receiver. The Broncos are trading. The Broncos are trading for Miami's running back Jalen Waddle. poll sources. They are going to receive Waddle. Denver receives Waddle and Dolphins' fourth round pick, which will be the 11th. Well, I have that. The 11th pick. 11th, it's the 11th pick, but it's the 11th pick in the round of three. The fourth, 11th pick of the third round. It may not be the 11th pick overall, but it is the 11th pick in the third round. In this year's draft, of course, Miami will receives Broncos' first round pick, which is the 30th overall pick in this year's draft, along with a third and a fourth picks, the 30th in each round. And this year's draft, not years to come, this year, this is all this year's draft. I don't see many times that this happens. And I know they do have more than one pick, but not many picks in one draft. Sometimes they go into the next previous years going forward, not just the year they're currently in. But yeah, that's happening. And yes, I do want to talk about Justin Fields. And yes, if you did not hear it this morning, make sure you listen back on Justin Fields, on the takes of Justin Fields with Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike on the Unsportsmanlike podcast with Michelle Smallman and Chris Casey as well. And yes, the Jets have finalized a deal with, which will send Justin Fields to the Kansas City Chiefs, which the Kansas City Chiefs desperately does need. Because we don't know what the status is going to be exactly for Patrick Mahomes. We all know that he went down this past season on, I think it was Achilles, was it not? But yes, he has a pending physical coming up. We'll find out how that goes and then go from there. Ooh, looks like the Cowboys are making some good moves lately. Looks like the Dallas has picked up tied and reached an agreement today, which was basically not today, but this past Sunday. To a 1-year deal to return the Eagles It's basically returning the player from Dallas back to the Eagles with the 9th season with Philly. And yes, it looks like free agent quarterback Trey Lawrence is returning to the Chargers on a 1-year contract, and looks like it's going to be a $6.75 million contract. I don't see anything right now that has to do with incentives. I don't see anything about guaranteed money. I don't see anything about bonuses or guaranteed money yet for that one. The Bengals have signed in the last within the past weekend. The quarterback Josh Johnson has returned to Cincinnati for a team that played for the Heat. Actually, a player of Cincinnati's in 2013 has returned in Josh Johnson. And he will be the third stint of the Bengals and his 22nd. And then, of course, he NFL stopped since he started with the Rams 2012. But some of that is pretty much as relevant as now, is somewhat. Titans has, okay, let's see. Okay, that's what I do want to talk about Kyler Murray, though. Because the Minnesota Vikings have signed Kyler Murray And yet they still are keeping J.J. McCarthy. We all seen what J.J. McCarthy could do last year. Okay, not the best, no Rodgers, no Aaron type quarterback. JJ's pretty much mediocre, average quarterback. But yes, Kyler Murray has signed a one-year deal with the Vikings as well. I don't see any money involved in this one yet. This was 5 days ago. They should have put that out. If I don't see it right now, let me see what they do. Oh, here we go. Yes, Murray already owed. This is money that he owed, not what he's getting, but what he has to pay. Murray already owes. It says here Murray already owned $36.8 million from Arizona. This is back in Arizona, actually, with the Eagles. With his 1-year contract with the Vikings will be the Veterans League minimum. So that's basically what he's going to be getting. The $36.8 million for the 1-year contract with the Vikings. I don't think he's going to be there for long. Again, he has been dealing with legal issues as well. So we're going to figure out how that's going to shake out as well throughout the season, because we don't know when the trial's coming up. We don't know if there's going to be any detaining or whatever. But make sure you do follow Down Sports for all your updates on Kyler Murray. Okay, let me see what I want to bring up next. Okay, this is talked about. This was on this past week. I want. Yeah, Javon Hargrave of the Packers has been had a reach agreement with a 2-year deal with the Vikings for $23 million, which will include 13 of that million this year that he got from the Packers. That includes that money. That includes the 13 he gets from Green Bay. And of course, if you want more Green Bay news and analysis and sports or not, make sure you listen to Wildy and Tausch. They're on right now, actually. Sorry if you're down here, join me. Check out Wildy and Tausch. Jason Wildy, being reported for the Packers, and of course, Mark Tauscher, the former Badger Packer himself, as well. And yes, I was able to meet the man. He's a great guy. Looking forward to having him. I will have Mark Tauscher coming on here with Down Sports coming up soon. All right, I want to talk about Daniel Jones, shall we? Daniel Jones. We all know he went down last year with his torn Achilles. He had been recovering since. Surgery, recovered. Of course, they brought back the 44-year-old and grandpa in Philip Rivers for last season. But looks like he's going to be back. He says, according to experts, he said he expects to be ready to go by training camp. And he says in quotes, absolutely that he will be back. But yes, it is an Achilles injury he had. We all know that. I just want to keep an eye out on that injury because the last thing he wants is to aggravate that injury during the season, this coming season. Because if he does, who will they go to get what veteran will they go to get to take his place? We know Philip Rivers will not come back. He did that last year. What in the right mind for Philip Rivers do it last year, then leave and come back again the following year? after Daniel Jones is going on another ACL injury or other type of injury. And yes, of course, he has a great $88 million contract for 2 years as well. That has been finalized as of last week. And yes, of course, we've got the NFL draft and all that. And yes, I know one thing for sure that goes up is NFL, the fantasy drafts. And yes, they do this every year. KB with ESPN, Madison, Milwaukee, Beaver Dam. All our shows that we have Jen, David Chewy, KBN, Kyle Buster, no, KBN, Kyle Buster Norman, Jim Adamali, and Strofe with Mr. Relevant. They all will be doing their sports teams. So we are looking forward to seeing everyone coming out to join those teams for this coming year's NFL draft, for ESPN's draft. That's why we have our own draft that we do. I'm looking forward to it myself. I should be there hopefully soon. I should be there. So once I hear from my ball, once I hear is coming up, I will let you know when that is, and that will be coming up. Okay, we're gonna take a short commercial break and we'll be right back. Thank you for hanging out here still. Yeah, make sure you got your Prime, everybody. Prime, I love Prime. Prime, make sure you get yourself some Prime. I got the blue feed here again. Should get your Prime wherever you get your Primes. Hey, some that. And hey, Logan Paul is cool with this stuff. Make sure you get your Celtics as well. I'm going to get a Prime. Pudding shakes as well. Okay, we got more to get to. And I know I do this a little differently here than I do it at the station. I will have plans to do more at the station than here. I have all the new, everything all planned out, not like I do here. So don't need to worry on that. On that. And looks like we got the Vows for championship this weekend. For the PGA. The next week we got the Texas Children's Hospital. Next week we got Texas Children's Houston Open. And then after that, you got the Southern Texas Open. And then after that, you got the Masters. So the Masters are coming up. Won't be long. Got a couple of weeks away before that. You need. Let's see. Okay, let's see what I got from my sources with Fox Sports. Okay, even though football is not going on, I do have a power rankings of the NFL. Super Bowl odds. Of course, number 32 got the Cardinals of Arizona. Cleveland 31. Miami at 30. Jets 29. And you know what? I want to do this because this is. Hey, you know what? We got the NFL draft coming up. We're going to talk about the draft more. So, yes, we do have a lot coming up with the NFL draft as well. Like I said, live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hope everyone in Pittsburgh is ready to party hardy with of course, all the tailgating, all the good food, and of course, draft picks. And Goodell coming out and hearing that special sound. Ding, ding. And this is according to Mel Kepler's Junior's mock draft. Will the Jets get Ty Simpson? Or will they be stuck with Geno Smith? That's a good question. I like that everyone who sees this replay to answer that question. Would you rather be stuck with Geno Smith, or would you rather draft Ty Simpson of Alabama? Let me know who you would rather go with. Stuck with Geno Smith or drafting Ty Simpson. Yeah, but Waddle. Oh, you know what? We do need to talk about MLB at the Major League Baseball. That's right. They are back. We got spring training games today on MLB Network. We got the Braves against the Red Sox. We got Tigers we got Detroit and we got the Oilers and the Tigers going at it for 5. We got the Yankees and the Rays on MLB TV. We got the Cardinals and the Nationals. Also in the TV at 12:05. That's coming up in the next hour. Twins, Phillies, as well as MLB, also at the same time at 12:05. Got a bunch of 12:05s. The last one of those is the Astros taking on the Pirates. We got the Mets taking on the Mariners. In the afternoon slate, we got starting at 3:05. We got the White Sox taking on the A's. I'll stop it right there for a minute. I want to talk about the White Sox because the White Sox have not been, and I definitely want to mention this because it's been. When was the last time the White Sox has been relevant? When the last time did the White Sox had a winning record? When did the White Sox have a good enough players to actually win and have a winning season? I have not seen that, and that's one thing I definitely mad about. Is that the White Sox are not acting like they really used to be. I remembered when Obama was our president, and he called a picture congratulating him of the White Sox. He put a game or something. We got the Rockies on the Marlins, Mariners, and again with the Rockies. I know the mountains will be blue, but will those mountains actually be blue all year long for the Rockies? Because just like last year, as well as the White Sox, both the White Sox and the Rockies both have been had not had a winning season. Yes, they probably have played some spoilers, win some games that were spoilers to have teams to either get in or bumped out of last year's playoff run. And right now, we got the Cubs and the Angels going at it tonight. We got the Reds taking on the Guardians. And that's on MLB TV. And then we got the Rangers taking the Royals taking on the Dodgers at 8:05, also on MLB TV as well. Yes, and will the Dodgers be as dominant as they have in the last several years? They have been really damn good. Have been really damn good. And that's one of the things I really want to bring up about the Dodgers because they do a lot when it comes to spending money for players, not just putting butts in the stands and having people come like the Milwaukee Brewers does. Yeah, we all know the Milwaukee Brewers, just like owners, is like to fill the seats. And yes, the Milwaukee Brewers are in the lower market of Major League Baseball, but still, it's not just about putting butts in seats. It's about having a good team. Make those moves. Open your wallets. Open that checkbook and pay. Make trades. Pay. Pay the players. Make trades. Come up with deals that could keep a player locked in for a couple of years. For more than 1 year, or maybe even multiple years, even. And if you're lucky enough during spring training, see if you can pick up players during spring training. Because a lot of players do come and go during spring training games. And of course, we've got the MLB All-Star game coming up in a matter of within 3 to 4 months. I think it's 4 months, something like that. And then, of course, we have the home run derby, All-Star game, then eventually playoffs. But for now, let's get the season started. Let's get to end of spring training and get the season started. I know, I you want to make a quote Jim Rutledge of Jim Mountain Molly, and he says this every year that he did not look at stats of baseball at the beginning of the season, going into he does not check numbers going on until the halfway mark towards of the season. He does not look at numbers and stats of baseball like a lot of people like us do, like everybody else does. He does not look at that kind of stuff until midway through the season. Because like every season starts out, everybody starts as the same. Clean slate, new season, new year, new baseball season, new year, baseball year. Baseball is here with a great best time. And yes, just 2 days ago, when I mentioned earlier about that ball strike thing, there was a comment made by the manager of that team that was talking about that. And yes, we all know that guy, Albert Pujols, the great Albert Pujols, the Venezuelan manager Albert Pujols. Yes, he knows a thing or two about the strike zone. He knows a thing or two about that. He's one of the greatest players that played baseball with St. Louis and with the St. Louis Cardinals, as well as the Angels of Anaheim. But here's the thing: when you play baseball and hey, I just saw earlier a video of the catcher of St. Louis Cardinals, Yadi Molina, coaching up some catchers. If you are a former player and you don't know what you want to do next, I say go into become a manager, become a coach of your position. No matter if it's catchers, pitchers, outfielders, infielders. If you are want to do that, oh hey, you even become an analyst. Look at Josh Bolts. He's one of many guys that have played in the MLB in the heydays were not, that are now calling the games, play by play, even analysis. Look at Big Poppy. I remember when Poppy was popping out home runs left and right. Now look what he does with Fox Sports Baseball. I love that they have former players, working within the league that they played in, and different roles. Not just baseball, but that's not the only sport. They got that with basketball. They got that with football as well. Troy Aikman still does it, along with Joe Buck. Tony Romo's still doing it for CBS. We got even have Tom Brady now. Tom Brady's doing it. I knew Tom Brady could do it, but I wasn't sure when, if you will. And yes, of course, Tom Brady is also a minority owner of the Oakland Raiders. And yes, he and a lot of the Raiders staff was at the NCAA college football playoff championship game when Mendoza and Indiana went undefeated. Because they all know they were going to draft at the first overall pick overall. And yes, we all project it's going to be Mendoza. Everybody knows it's going to be Mendoza going first overall in the NFL draft this year. Think back to all the past first round picks, first overall picks. Bryce Young was I can name one. Look at Baker Mayfield. He's for the Super Bay now. There are a lot of guys you can name that have been first overall. I think Tom Mooney was running back, if I'm correct, as well, actually. And now he's with the Vikings. Yeah, and of course Tom Brady. Tom Brady did not get drafted to the position that he in the round that he was projected to go. He went many rounds later, towards the end of the draft. Anyway, let me take a little prime here. Let's see here. Yes, back to the NFL. Yes, of course, this year, the Super Bowl is on ABC. We all know ABC is part of Disney and ESPN. And yes, I am with ESPN myself, along with Down Sports. Yes, Down Sports is with ESPN as well. I'm glad to see that. And like I said before, I will be turning the show into a daily show coming up. Not yet, but it'll be later in this summer once I make my girlfriend and I make a move to a bigger place. Once I get there, I will be doing my show on a daily basis, and I'll be doing that at ESPN Studios as well as my place as well. I will have a home studio as well as the one at the office at ESPN Studios in Madison at the Ellight Solar Studios. So yes, I am totally looking forward to this coming up after Super Bowl season this coming year. And hey, we all know that the Backstreet Boys were campaigning to be this year's Hot Tub Show. That would be awesome to have. And who knows who they could bring up. Let's say they got it. Let's say they locked it in. And it is the Backstreet Boys doing the Hot Tub Show. Who knows who they could bring back and surprise? Britney Spears? Christina Aguilera? Anyone can come. Hey, who knows? Maybe NZ can make a jump at it. Yeah, I can see starting off with the Backstreet Boys start singing, doing one of their suits, and they go from from a track from one of the songs from Everybody, Rock Your Body to Tell Me On My Heart. I can see that possibly, but we're not sure. But I will help the Backstreet Boys. In fact, I also want to help be a part of the campaign of getting the Backstreet Boys to be the halftime show in next year's Super Bowl as well. Because it'd be cool to have, because the Backstreet Boys just dropped not so long, like over a month ago, their show, the Spiel, which was, I know that whole was great. And this one, and would it be ABC, Disney, and ESPN being part of it? Hey, why not get Banana Ball involved? I know Banana Ball is part of ESPN now. Yes, Banana Ball is part of ESPN, along with WWE. And yes, we are getting ready for WrestleMania. WrestleMania is not far away. In fact, let me see if I can pull up the exact date. Okay, I gotta do a request. Apparently, my girlfriend won't mention our podcast, and of course, we do have today is St. Patrick's Day. I don't have much green on right now, but if y'all wearing your green, make sure it is St. Patrick's Day. So make sure you have your Irish beer in hand. And of course, we do have. I am set of the first. I want to have our DSD. Us co-host, Jonathan Drum, do a co-host, and of course, here at Dylan Sports, and of course, my lady, Glam Talk. Make sure to get these glamours. Anyway, let's get back right into it. My lady's a little crazy because she's damn like crazy. And yes, we do have to talk about the fact that, looks like Hayward Brown, Eagles has signed the Kansas City Chiefs Hayward Brown to a 1-year deal and it's worth $6.5 million. According to Jordan Schultz and Denver Sports. And yes, Luka the other day dropped 36 points in their win the other night as well. Okay, this is more of the insider of NFL I got within the last 22 minutes from the Bleach Report. And the full deal of Waddle, poor sources of the insider, Waddle goes to Miami gets a fourth round to the Broncos for the pick, and the Broncos will get the first rounder plus a third and a fourth to Miami. So those are the picks that are being switched up for Waddle. And I think Jalen Waddle on the playing with the Broncos could actually be good. Let me know what you think. I think it would. Bo Nix being a quarterback, and he would be in the Super Bowl if he did not have that injury on the injury the week before the AFC title game. And yes, I do. One of my friends, KB and Kyle Bush and Norman, Kyle Wallace, a friend of mine, has a family member that plays for the Broncos. So let's see if he can get a ring. But let's get back to what we were talking about with the Broncos and Jalen Waddle. Because the Broncos doesn't need wide receivers. They needed wide receivers in a big way. Yes, they got rid of a good amount of players themselves within the trades and the legal tampering period as well. So there's going to be a lot of spots, not just with the Broncos, but everybody will have spots and gaps that need to be filled with this year's draft. There's one that did not need to be asked for as much, but still needs to be filled in, and that is with the Kansas City Chiefs, because Travis Kelce is going to play his 14th season with the Chiefs. That's right. You all know Travis will be playing his 14th season then this year, coming season. And yes, the wedding is close. His wedding to Taylor Swift is getting close. Looks like Garrett Cole will be having. It's getting close of being fully recovered after having Tommy John surgery as well. You got that from the Athletic. Let's see here. Oh, and of course, I do need. We're about to getting close in today's episode, and I do want to talk about some podcasts, sports podcasts. I would like to recommend a bunch of podcasts as well. First one I definitely want to bring up is Sportsmanlike. I love listening to the show, not just watching it on TV, but also on the radio side as well as the show on the podcast as well. Another podcast I have to recommend is Rich Eisen Show. Yes, I called in a while back, a couple weeks ago, and I got on, but of course, my phone being in and out, they did not read that on the podcast side, but I will call back in. Like he said, call back again. I will call in again, use my earbuds this time, and you'll hear me on the Rich Eisen Show again and on the podcast side as well. I do want to recommend the Lockdown series podcast. Of course, I'm the Lockdown Bama. Go give the Wake Up Barstool. You just make sure you definitely listen to the Wake Up Barstool podcast. And of course, don't forget Travis and Jason Kelsey's Heights. They've been off for a long time now. Excuse me. And of course, one of my favorites of all time, we got former head coach of the Ohio Buckeyes, Urban Meyer, Alabama's first ever Heisman Trophy, Mark Ingram, and Rob Stone with the Triple Option podcast. Of course, I've also been working time. Make sure you also listen to that podcast. Same with the Paul Feinbaum show, and I will be calling into that show eventually myself. So make sure you stay tuned to watching Paul Feinbaum, Rich Eisen, and a bunch more other shows. I will be calling in, and I will be getting on, and I will be mentioning Down Sports on those shows as well. So when you hear my voice, though it might be sound a little different, when you do hear my voice and I listen to Down Sports, make sure you check it out. Let's see if there's any new sports ones out there, because I know they have a lot of new ones that do come out. And of course, you got the WWE podcast. All the podcasts excuse me. I might my problem. I might need to get one of my associates in me. Stay awake. And of course, Jen, Gabe, and Cherry podcast. And of course, you got listen to the Hood and Dan Patrick show as well. And of course, with the NCAA tournament going on for men and women, you definitely got to check Eve on College Basketball Podcast. It's a CBS Sports podcast. You see here, of course, the Pat McAfee show. Gotta check out Mia Kimes podcast. I love her show. And Mia, I hope you see this. I love your show. And we honored to have you on Dealing with Sports. So let me know. Same with Cookie. Same with Courtney. Courtney. Cece, also known as Cece, Chris Kennedy, Michelle Smallman, and of course, Evan Cohen. Again, I am going to try to get Evan Cohen back on Daily Sports again. The next time we a live stream as well. And of course, make sure you check the featured channels as well. Got Barstool Sports as well. Got Podcast NFL, Fantasy, all that good stuff. But one of the biggest things I really want you to make sure you do have is that ESPN Max Wisconsin app for all Wisconsin shows. But also your ESPN app. The new one is all new. It's all more interactive. You can actually customize your own sports center, which is one of the greatest things there is. You can watch shows, actual shows on there live. Like right now, you got live on right now Pat McAfee, Rich Eisen. You got even a game being played right now. Arkansas versus Arkansas versus Arkansas. You got a couple of games going on. You got the Lauren Height show. First Take. Get Up. Nothing but net. Nobody's on the board, of course. I think it's on here, but make sure you check that one out. And of course, all the WWE Cup as well. You rewatch Elimination Chamber right before WrestleMania. Also known as the Super Bowl of Wrestling. And yes, the man, the Beast Incarnate is back. The Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar is back. And yes, he has a match at WrestleMania. Which I know we're all going to be looking forward to seeing that. Because he's going to take on a monster. Of course, they both monsters in a way. And of course, you can watch TGL on here as well. And of course, Banana Ball. Make sure you watch all Banana Ball. And I love Banana Ball. I have watched them here and there. I'm going to get more into it. And in fact, I want to put out a personal invitation for Jesse, the guy who put together Banana Ball, and came on Sports Night with my friend Gordon, Michelle, and Chris as well. I don't want to give him a personal invitation to come on my show with Daily Sports. In fact, with the new and improved ESPN app, and you can actually watch March Madness on there too. That's right. You can watch your March Madness games with just a click of just a tap of a button. And yes, even Banana Ball is on here. Like I said, Banana Ball is right here. You can watch Banana Ball on the app, which is great. I'm going to be watching the games coming out this weekend that they have. They even have the WWE. You got all the Sockers on here. You got the X Games, and I love the X Games. You got to check out X Games. You can check out everything on the new improved ESPN app. And of course, you can watch a lot of original shows. They got the NWSL, the final round. You got Stephanie's Place. You got Game On the Edge. You got Origin. You got the NFL Draft Daily. You got the Inside the NBA. That's right. The Inside NBA is part of ESPN. So, again, I want to welcome Charles, Shaq, and the guys, all those guys. First Take is on here. Get Up with Eisen, Pat McAfee, and of course, it's Sports Center as well. And Football Americas. ESPN FC, of course, ESPN E60 as well. You got Peyton's Place, Eli's Place. You got 3 places Stephanie's, Eli, and Pickens apparently. And of course, you got the full press. Man in the arena, you got the Kingdom. The ESPN original, the Kingdom, the Dynasty of, the lost the Dynasty of the Kansas City Chiefs. You got the Running with Wolves. You got the Believers that has to do with the Boston Red Sox. You got the Sports Center. You got the arena. And of course, you got the NFL's turning point. So, yes, you got a lot in here, and just a one swipe and one tap of a button, and you can get ESPN right there. In fact, you know what? Let me see if I can get some what's going on with Banana Ball. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I pull up the schedule for the Banana Ball in Savannah Banana. Okay, looks like we have one on the 26th of this month. Oh gosh. All right, we have to. Okay, this Friday night we have a game. We got the Salt. We got. Let's see which one we got. You got the. I can't name these teams. I gotta give the names here. I know the Bananas, but I know the other names. But let me give you that one. Oh look, and we got some games this Saturday. We got games coming up. Banana Ball does play this Saturday. The Firefighters takes on the Clowns in Montgomery, Alabama, Riverside Stadium. And you know what? The day is also, that's right, 3/21. 21 is the key number. 21 has to do with World Down Syndrome Day. I got Down syndrome. My girlfriend has Down syndrome. There are a lot of people out there with Down syndrome. So if you want to celebrate the Down syndrome, make sure you party hardy. And of course, we do have the games. We got on the 22nd, we got the 5 hours on the Clown. We got a second game of the 5 hours on the Clown in the Alabama River Park Stadium. We got the Banana taking on the Clowns at Angel Stadium. We got Banana taking on the Clowns again. Another game on the 28th. But that one is on ESPN having Disney Plus. Animals take on the Coconuts at Springbrook Stadium on the 28th. As well as the 5 hours and the Tailgaters at Scottsdale, Arizona at Salt River Field. And then we got the Party Animals taking on Coconuts Conway. Coconuts against the Conway, South Carolina Springs Stadium, and then George 5 hours taking on the Tailgaters at Scottsdale, Arizona at the Salt River Fields as well. And we got more to come. And like I said a bit ago, I want to get this show. I would like to get Banana Ball to join this show. That's right. Banana Ball has been on Sports Night with Chris Canty, Michelle Smallman, and Evan Corn, my friend and coworker, as well. So I definitely want to get Banana Ball involved with Downward Sports. In fact, we do have some games. Let's see here. We do have that one. Okay, looks like we have 2 games on TGL. 3 games of them. I got Atlanta Drive GC versus Los Angeles Golf Club semifinals. You got the road to the Certified Cup. Then you got Jupiter Links Golf Club taking on Boston Common Golf semifinal as well. So let's find out who is gonna take that cup. And let me ask you a question about lacrosse. I never thought lacrosse is much of a sport. It looks like it is. A lot of running, course skates with a net on it, and 2 goals. But I want to ask everyone out there: do you think lacrosse is a legit sport, or is it just funny, or is it just whatever you think it is? See, I think lacrosse is kind of odd because all it is basically running and throwing and scoring. Not much like a baseball or football or basketball with actual plays being drawn up. I don't see that kind of stuff in lacrosse. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Good. My dad would agree that for basketball because in football versus basketball, you see the plays develop. Okay, we are all right. We're getting close to the first game. We're going to call this an episode in just a few minutes, and we'll get you to the first game of the today's baseball select with the Braves and the Red Sox in a few minutes from now. Actually, it looks like we're just about wrapped up for the day. Because I don't see much here. You know what? Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. Let's talk about Rodgers. Because Rodgers is still on up and back. Aaron Rodgers is still has yet to sign a team. Yeah, last year he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He did a pretty well season because he had a better one last season with the Steelers than he did the year before with the Jets. It was his second year with the Jets. And of course, he's 2 years off. 2 years off from having that Achilles injury. It was just 3 years ago when he had that. When he tore that since he tore it, tore his ACL. So yes, we got Aaron Rodgers. So let's see. I want Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Rodgers is done. Rodgers just needs to hang up the cleats and grab the freaking mic. Come on, man. You are basically you're in your mid 40s. You finally got a woman and he married her. Hang up the effing cleats and pick up the mic, man. Come on. You got a wife to support now. Yeah, now you're making good money. as a quarterback, but you could make even more money as an analyst or even a play-by-play announcer for the NFL, for ABC, CBS, NBC, whatnot, or even ESPN. We had Tony Romo on CBS. We have Tom Brady with Fox. Why not have Rodgers on NBC? Why not? That would be kind of cool to have. Cool legends on different networks. Brady on Fox, Rodgers on NBC, and Romo with CBS. Of course, and of course Joe Buck, and Tony, and Troy Aikman on ESPN. So let me know who you want to see. Tony Romo on CBS, Tom Brady on Fox, Aaron Rodgers if he does it and he gets on NBC, or Troy Aikman on ESPN. Let me know in the comments after this episode is done. And of course, it comes on YouTube as well. Okay, we got 15 till. We're going to call it a day. Because I got not much sports to talk about right now. But until next time, this is Dan with Sports, and we have a great sports season, a sports week. And hey, won't be long. We'll be doing this every single day. And more to come. Until the next episode, have a great one, everybody. See you next time. Okay, all right. Enjoy your day, everybody. See y'all next time.